So you talked there about the difference with being fully remote, and that you've not seen your boss in like over a year. And do you feel in 2021, looking forward, are you kind of looking forward to getting back to the office if that would be a thing? Would you prefer more of a hybrid, or are you super happy just complete remote working? What do you think?
This is a very good point. Again, extremely timely. I think, to be honest, a blended approach is going to be my preference. I've gone like most people. I've gone from one week I'm thinking one thing, and then I'm thinking the other. So it's a bit of a roller coaster. Now, at the moment, if you asked me a year ago, I've said, right, Simon, you can work from home 5 days a week, so you can take your kids to school, which has been fantastic, by the way. That's a massive benefit.
Yes, mate.
For people who haven't got kids, you don't really appreciate how great it is. On the flip side of that, if you said to me a year ago, if you said you can work from home 5 days, I would have said, fantastic, brilliant. But now there are massive downfalls to working from home as well. I know there's massive benefits. I could take the kids to school. I could take my daughter to school every day. I really suffer, to be honest, not being around other people in the office. I know I work with a couple of guys at the Co-op, Paul and my colleague Steve, who we've had absolutely fantastic banter and really good working relationships with. And when I was at Very, I had my manager with Aidan and some other people there, and I was lucky enough to go in there a little bit. But yesterday I went into Manchester, and it was fantastic. And when I say fantastic, I mean, it's the things that people don't talk about. The commute, we underestimate how important it is to us mentally, personally. So I was putting an album on I needed to listen to. I had 30-minute drive into Manchester. That got me there, and I met my manager, Paul, there. First time I was back at the building, seen a couple of other people, and I came out after that day energized.
Yeah.
The flip side of it, so driving home again, the commute that's what I've actually found working from home is, let's say you've had a really intense day, it's 5:30, you go, normally you go, right, okay, I've got a 40-minute commute home, and you don't realize how important that commute is to decompress. So It's like a deep sea diver coming up, whereas now, and it's like, okay, 10 seconds down there, right, let's go and make the tea, make the food, and you don't have that time to decompress. So I think I am looking forward to being back in the office a little bit more. But on the flip side of it, I've come back to the home today, and I'm thinking it gives you an appreciation of task-based things to do. And actually, I really enjoyed, especially when I was working at Very, and I was a new hands-on tester and I was doing all the app testing. So first time I've done app testing, it was an absolute blessing that I was able to concentrate at home and just get through testing days and days. So I had to do 3 days worth of regression on my Android phone and iPhone. I actually think for blended is definitely the future. And my ideal would be maybe 1 day a week, maybe 1 day every 2 weeks. That's the way I would certainly like to be in 1 day a week, if I'm honest, Beth. I think going in there, and I wonder whether society as a whole, hopefully, would go, we go in there to energize. We go in there 1 day a week to energize, to collaborate, and then we go away back to our own kind of houses and then collaborate offline. So I'm hoping for, more importantly for the environment as well, that happens as well, because it's been a massive kind of change. That's one positive out of a year of negative. Mm-hmm. But for me, I massively miss being able to go into the office, having the water cooler chat, or as me and the guys at the Co-op say, we have a coffee, we have lots of coffee, so the coffee chats. And I'm going to say it, I miss even going in there and occasionally after work and we're going to have a drink. I think I'm a huge fan. I know, you don't obviously have to have a drink to have a good time, but I'm a huge fan of team bonding. Maybe once we've got to have a couple of drinks or something. Honestly, I think that's great. But I think there's massive benefits to working from home as well. So
I think this year, one of the positive things has been, particularly in tech, it's really, really brought forward that I think it would have probably happened anyway, but much more slowly, that encouragement of remote learning and the acceptance that you can work from home, and it doesn't make you less productive, and you don't need to be micromanaged. And if you trust your staff, remote learning is absolutely fine. And I think that's allowed that argument. If you were in January last year and you said, I want a job that's remote, 100% remote working, people would have been like, okay, precious, all right. But now it's like, oh, well, obviously, like where I work, Smoothwall, for the first time this year, in the last 6 months, we've started to hire people based on purely on skills and not on location. So we've hired amazing people for the first time from all over the world, and that's meant that we can attract the best candidates. We're not restricted by, you need to be a 10-mile radius from the HQ because it's a stupid commute and you're going to hate it if you're commuting from wherever and getting hotels and having to stay in stay places for the week and then go home. And I think it's been really a game changer in that getting that work-life balance right, and understanding that you have to have that to be motivated to really want to do a good job.
And you're absolutely right. The barriers have been broken down. The candidates, for everyone, it works for everyone, for candidates and companies. If your talent pool for everyone, it's expanded. And as a candidate, you don't have to, like you say, you don't have to think about that's going to be like a 2-hour commute. You can kind of go in. Most companies now seem to go, right, we're going to be working from home indefinitely, and a flexible working. And even when you work from home, it's like your typical working day structure has been broken up now, and it's encouraged. So so for me, for example, I get up relatively in the morning to get the kids to school, or I might go and do a run in the morning. And so I might run in the morning. I've not got that commute, or I might now go on a run on lunchtime. But then I'll stagger my start times. I might start a bit earlier, go for a longer run on lunchtime, come the end of the day, or might come and pick my daughter up and then actually dial in a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It has broken down. One area I have noticed recently, recent weeks, is on the downside of working from home, on a balanced argument, is that people are typically tending to work more working from home, like, or leave the laptop on for
and I think tempting,
that's a dangerous thing. It's kind of like, it's great. It's really good that it's there and you can kind of, roll out of bed and do all that kind of stuff. But I think it's dangerous. For me, what's got me through all this is routine. I kind of routine through lockdown. And that's.